different types of instruments. Okay, so you have to name those instruments and you have to tell minimum 2 uses, right? And after that, examiner will ask you about the uses and he will drag you to theory subjects, right? So first of all, whenever we do a post speculum examination, is the instrument visible to you, Harshvardhan?
No, ma'am.
Not visible. So how can you show you the instrument? My video is audible. Video is
Yes.
visible.
Yes, ma'am.
My, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Video is visible, but the instrument is not. I can see the
I am
instrument.
holding the instrument. Is it
Yes,
visible
ma'am. I
now?
can see. Yes, ma'am.
Everybody? Everybody is able to see the instrument?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So let me enlarge my screen. So you see, this is a Cosco speculum. Is it visible to you? Harshvardhan?
Yes, ma'am.
So you see, so before going for post speculum examination, so we have to arrange some instruments. So what is the instrument we use while conducting post speculum examination? This is a vaginal speculum, right? So there are 3 types of speculum. Speculum, the plural is specula. So one is I am holding just now. Okay. So this is commonly used speculum. This is a seams double-bladed, non-self-retaining posterior vaginal wall speculum. So it is a very long name. Okay. So we shortly call it as seams speculum. Okay. So can you repeat with me? This is seams double-bladed. Means there are 2 blades. This is one blade. This is another blade. This is the handle. Okay. So there is a groove in the handle. This groove is meant for the drainage of liquids if collected inside the vagina. Okay. Or we collect the fluid for various purposes. Okay. So this is seams double-bladed, non-self-retaining posterior vaginal wall speculum, right? So it is seams double-bladed, non-self-retaining posterior vaginal wall speculum. Simply you can tell it as seams speculum. Okay. So it is another name for seams double-bladed speculum is duckbill speculum. Duckbill speculum, right? So what is another? There is another type of speculum which is called Cosco's bivalve vaginal self-retaining vaginal speculum. So this is Cosco's bivalve self-retaining vaginal speculum. Okay. So there are 2 valves. This is one valve. This is another valve. This is self-retaining due to the presence of this. There is a screw. Here we can manipulate the screw. Okay. By manipulating the screw, we can fix the speculum inside the vagina. So that is why this is self-retaining. So there is no such arrangement in case of seams speculum. Seams speculum, is it visible, Harshvardhan?
Yes, ma'am.
अरे बीच में बोला करो, yes, visible. So this is
Ma'am, some people are waiting and the waiting.
Some people are waiting. Okay, I am admitting. Yes. Okay. So commonly we use this seams speculum. Okay. So this is used to retract the vaginal wall. Okay. So vagina is a collapsible organ. It is a tube, but it is not a rigid tube. It is collapsible. So in order to visualize the vagina and cervix, so you have to retract the vagina. Okay. So for retraction purpose, we use specula. Okay. This is seams speculum and this is your Cosco's speculum. Is it visible, Cosco's?
Ma'am, could you please take the camera a little far away? We cannot see the instrument properly.
Okay, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is.
Okay.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
which speculum you are looking? This is a
Cosco speculum.
yes, Cosco's bivalve. Okay, there are two valves. This is one valve. This is another valve. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, there is a screw here. Okay, this screw is meant for retention inside the vagina. Okay, so this instrument doesn't need any assistant to hold. So while this speculum needs an assistant to retain inside the vagina, right? If you simply insert the speculum inside the vagina, so it will fall out. If you do not take this or hold this with your hand, the speculum will simply fall out of the vagina. So you need one assistant to hold this speculum, right? Is it visible? Since speculum.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is double-bladed.
Yes.
Some since speculum has got single blade. Only one blade will be there. There is no double blade. Okay. So there is a groove here. This groove is meant for drainage of the vaginal secretions. Okay. So what is the advantage of Sim speculum over the Cosco speculum? Cosco speculum, you can, this is what is the advantage for Sim speculum is disadvantage for Coscos. And what is advantage for Cosco is disadvantage for the Sim speculum, right? So what is the advantage of Sim speculum? Sim speculum, so it is lighter, right? And you can, this is commonly used, right? And you can see or visualize the vagina. But in case of Cosco speculum, you cannot visualize the anterior or posterior wall. Okay, so you only see through this aperture, the cervix. Okay, so here you can see both the cervix, you can visualize both the anterior and posterior wall. But this instrument, this Sim speculum, this needs another instrument to retract the anterior vaginal wall. Okay, but Cosco's doesn't need any anterior vaginal wall retractor. Okay, so for this Sim speculum, we have to use anterior wall retractor. Okay, so there is another instrument called Sim's anterior wall retractor, but that instrument is now not with me. Okay, so here we use this sponge holding forceps to retract the anterior vaginal wall. Is it visible, sponge holding forceps? Harshvardhan,
Yes, ma'am.
is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
visible? So this is
Yes,
a
ma'am.
forceps. It is called a pair of forceps, right? So there are two blades. Okay, this is one blade and this is another blade. Okay, so this is a finger loop. This is finger loop. This is a ratchet lock. You see, the ratchet lock is having teeth. Okay, so this is one blade. This is another blade. There is a finger loop. There is a ratchet lock. There is a hinge here. This one is hinge. This part is hinge. And at the distal end, there is a ring-like structure. Okay, there is a hole. Everybody, you see there is a hole and ring-like structure. The distal end of the forceps is having a ring-like structure. Okay, and each blade is having a serrations, transverse serrations. Is it visible serrations? You see there are serrations are here. Okay, Harshvardhan, can you see
Yes, ma'am.
the serrations?
No,
Is it
ma'am.
visible? Is it visible?
Yes,
There are
ma'am.
serrations over the ring. Okay. So this is a
Okay.
sponge holding forceps. So it can be used to retract the anterior vaginal wall. Right. So while using the Sim speculum, you have to take the help of another instrument to retract the anterior vaginal wall. But in case of Cosco speculum, So you don't need another instrument to retract the anterior vaginal wall. Okay. So where the disadvantage of SIMS is the patient have to come to the edge of the table. Otherwise, you cannot able to introduce the SIMS speculum into the vagina. Right. So this is the disadvantage for the SIMS speculum. And Cusco speculum doesn't depend upon the position of the patient. Okay. So this is advantage for Cusco speculum. So uses we have to tell the uses. Okay. So for speculum examination needs vaginal speculum. Small minor procedures like copper T insertion, copper T removal, you can do with the Cusco speculum. Okay. But in case of SIMS speculum, you can do minor surgeries. So also while conducting major surgeries, you need this speculum. Okay, SIMS speculum, like your anterior repair of the vaginal wall, posterior repair, colpotomy, any cervical surgery, hysterectomy. All these surgeries, they need speculum. So we use SIMS speculum while doing the surgeries. But in case of copper T insertion, copper T removal, or your minor surgical procedures over the cervix like cervical biopsy can be done with the Cusco speculum. Okay. So there is another speculum which is like SIMS speculum, but it doesn't need another instrument for retraction of the anterior vaginal wall is the overt speculum. Okay, that speculum is not with me. Overt speculum, overt weight, self-retaining speculum, vaginal speculum. So that is one heavy weight
Excuse me, ma'am.
instrument. Yes, yes.
Ma'am, some people are in the
I have
waiting room.
admitted. I have admitted.
Thank you, ma'am.
So please tell me what are the two specula we use while conducting post speculum examination? Harshvardhan, please tell me. Ankita, are you present or not? Ankita. So there are two specula we use while conducting post speculum examination. One is speculum, another is Cusco speculum. Everybody is clear? So anterior wall retractor, we use sponge holding forceps. So next, sponge holding forceps. What is the use of sponge holding forceps? Sponge holding forceps, as the name suggests, you have to hold a sponge with the help of this sponge holding forceps. The primary work is to apply antiseptic dressing over the surgery site. Okay, so you hold a sponge or a swab with the help of this instrument, and you have to paint the surgical site with antiseptic dressings or lotions. Okay, so this is the primary function of this sponge holding forceps. So other uses are like your anterior vaginal wall retractor. Another use is you hold the swab and press over the bleeding vessels in order to arrest the bleeding. Okay, so you can hold the soft structure with the help of sponge holding forceps. So another use during pregnancy or after delivery, the cervix is soft, and after delivery, if you want to see whether there is any cervical tear present or not, you have to hold the cervix with the sponge holding forceps, not with any other instrument like Alice forceps, which have got teeth and it will injure the cervix. Okay, so after delivery, if you want to see the cervix for any cervical tear, the sponge holding forceps, two sponge holding forceps are used to visualize the cervix. So don't use other instruments which are having teeth. Okay, so it will injure the cervix more. So what are the uses then? For antiseptic dressing, to apply antiseptic dressing with the help of a swab. Second is any bleeding point can be pressed with the help of a swab. Third is anterior vaginal wall retractor. Fourth is to hold soft structures. Fifth is you can hold the cervix during inspection of the cervix and during your cervical tear repair after delivery of the baby. Okay, so this is sponge holding forceps. So another tissue holding forceps is your Alice tissue holding forceps. The complete name is Alice tissue holding forceps. So is it visible to you? Harshvardhan,
Yes, ma'am.
is the instrument visible to you? You
Yes,
see
ma'am.
there are two blades. Okay, this is one blade, another blade. So there is a ratchet lock. This is the finger loop. This is the ratchet lock having teeth. Okay, this is the hinge. And the distal end is curved. Distal end is curved and having small teeth, both sides. Okay. So when the forceps is closed or locked, so there is a gap between the distal ends of the blades. Okay. You see, there is a gap in between the two blades. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible? So there is
Yes, ma'am.
a gap. Okay. So in case of Cocker's forceps, you see this is a Cocker's forceps. So there is no gap. Have you seen? You see?
Yes, ma'am.
Visible? So there is
Yes, ma'am.
no gap in between blades in case of Cocker's forceps. Okay. In case of Alice forceps, after locking, so there is a gap. Okay. I have locked the forceps. Is it visible? I have locked the forceps. You see? I have locked. Okay. So this is your
Yes,
ratchet lock. There is a gap between the blades, distal ends of the two blades. Okay. So here the teeth are present. These teeth are called rat teeth. Okay. Rat teeth. Rat, mouse. Okay. So this is used to hold the tissue while performing any surgery. You see? Okay. While performing DNC, dilatation and curettage, so you have to hold the anterior lip of the cervix like this. Okay. Anterior lip of the cervix. Okay. You see. So there is another instrument with the help of which we can hold the anterior lip of the cervix is valsalon. Okay. So you see, is it visible? Valsalon is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell
Yes, ma'am.
me.
Yes, ma'am.
Valsalon, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
You see, there are two blades, curved blades. You see, this is curved at the distal end, this portion. Okay. This is the hinge. This is a ratchet lock. This is the finger loop. Okay. So there are two blades. The distal end is curved and there are teeth here. At the end, there are small teeth, rat teeth. Okay. So this is the hinge. This is valsalon. This is also used to hold the anterior lip of the cervix while performing surgeries like DNC. Okay. This is. So in case of females, in gynecological procedures, we hold the anterior lip of the cervix with the help of this valsalon. But in case of nulliparous ladies, we have to use tenaculum. Okay, instead of valsalon, we have to use tenaculum. I think tenaculum is not with me. So this is a valsellum. See, this is a valsellum. Okay. So what is the use? Its use is to hold the anterior lip of the cervix while performing surgeries like DNC for endometrial biopsy, right? This or any procedure, any surgical procedure, you have to do it over the cervix. So you have to, in case of nulliparous ladies, the cervix, anterior lip of the cervix is, you hold the anterior lip of the cervix with the help of tenaculum. Tenaculum.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, tell me.
Ma'am, some people are waiting in the waiting room.
Yes, I have admitted. Okay.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
there are multiple teeth here. Okay, tenaculum is having a single tooth, right? So difference between valsellum and tenaculum is having a single tooth, whereas valsellum is having multiple teeth. Visible? Instrument is visible to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you recognize the instrument during your examination? Tell
Yes,
me the name of the instrument. Harshvardhan, tell
ma'am.
me
Valsellum.
what is the name of this instrument?
Valsellum.
Valsellum. Okay. So this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
used to hold the anterior
Anterior.
lip of the cervix, right? Anterior
Yes,
lip
ma'am.
of the cervix in case of females in gynecological procedures. Okay. So this
Yes.
forceps is not used in obstetrical procedures, right? So it will injure the cervix. Instead of this valsellum, we have to use the sponge holding forceps, right? So in case of children, the anterior lip of the cervix is held with the help of Alice forceps. I have shown you the Alice forceps. This is the Alice forceps. So when I lock this instrument, there is a gap. So also in your valsellum. Okay. So there is one gap is there. Okay. These two instruments, when I have locked these two instruments, there is gap. There is a gap in between the distal ends of the forceps. All right. So other uses are, so you can hold the fundus of the uterus with the help of this valsellum, right, while performing hysterectomy procedures. Okay, so you can hold the myoma during myomectomy procedures with the help of this instrument. So also with the Alice forceps, you can hold the myoma while performing myomectomy. You hold the myoma and you separate the myoma from the capsule and you drag it from its base, right? So these two instruments. So another use of your Alice forceps, tissue holding forceps is, so you can, while performing surgeries, hysterectomies or other surgeries, you can hold the tough structures. While performing abdominal hysterectomy, you can hold the rectus sheath with the help of this instrument, Alice forceps. While performing cesarean section, you can hold the two flaps of the uterine flaps, two uterine flaps with the help of these instruments while performing the lower segment cesarean section. Right? Is it visible? Okay.
Yes.
So this instrument, this is a tubular structure, rod-like structure, metallic structure. You see, this is Haggard's metal dilator. Okay. So this is Haggard's metal dilator. So one end is having less diameter, the other end is having little more diameter than that end. Okay, so this end is having less diameter and this end is having more diameter. Is it visible? Harshvardhan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Instrument is visible. It is Haggard's metal dilator, right? What is this instrument? Ankita?
And Haggard's metal dilator.
So it is used to dilate the cervix. Okay. So its use is to dilate the cervix. So where the dilatation of the cervix is performed. Okay. So what are the surgeries? Okay. Whenever you try to take out endometrium or endometrial biopsy, you can use this instrument to dilate the cervix. Okay. Dilate the cervix and you have to introduce the curette inside the uterine cavity. So it comes in different sizes. So in obstetrics cases, so you have to use in dilating the cervix in case of MTP, okay, medical termination of pregnancy, like suction evacuation procedures. So before going for suction, you have to dilate the cervix with the help of this Haggard's dilator, right? So if the lady is having 7 weeks pregnancy and you have to dilate the cervix, so you go for number 7 Haggard's dilator or one less than that, okay. So the ends are rounded and blunt. So there will be less chance of perforation. If you introduce the instrument forcefully, there will be less chance of perforation. Okay, this is Haggard's metal dilator. There are different sizes and the numbers are mentioned here in the rod. Okay, this is a rod-like structure, curved. Here is one curve, another curve. The two ends are blunt. So everybody will be able to identify this instrument. This instrument is used to dilate the cervix before the procedures like DNC and your suction evacuation. Okay, suction evacuation, you have to dilate the cervix same as your gestational age. Number should be same as gestational age or one below that. Okay. So this is Haggard's metal dilator. So she has forgotten to give me the reference. So another instrument which is linked to dilatation and evacuation procedure, you can see this is an ovum forceps. You see, this is an ovum forceps. Is it visible? Ovum forceps?
Yes, ma'am.
So there is a spoon-like end. Is it visible, spoon-like end?
Yes, ma'am.
There is a spoon-like structure at the distal end. Here, okay. This is the hinge. Okay, you notice there is no ratchet lock here. So no ratchet lock here. You see, right? So no lock is here. But previously I have shown you forceps which are having locks. You see, Valsallam is having ratchet lock. Valsallam is having ratchet lock, whereas this ovum forceps is not having any lock. Okay, so there are two forceps which are not having ratchet locks. One is your ovum forceps, another is Chittil's forceps. So you can see the Chittil forceps in labor room. Okay, so there are no ratchet locks. Okay, so this is slightly curved. Here you see this is a slightly curved structure. Okay, the hinge is little bit towards the distal end, no lock. Okay, so this is used to hold the retained product of conception which is present inside the uterus you have to hold the product and you have to remove it from the uterus. Okay, so this is used in procedures dilatation and evacuation. Okay, whenever there is retained product inside the uterus or retained placenta, you can use this instrument and you go inside the uterine cavity, hold the product of conception and grip it and you take out from the uterine cavity. Okay, so there is no lock. Why? Because if accidentally the uterine wall is caught in between your blades, so it will not so stiff or it will not perforate the uterus. Okay, if there will be lock, there is much injury to the uterine wall if you accidentally hold that uterine wall in between these two blades. Okay, so that is why there is no lock. So dilatation and evacuation procedures you can do, you can use this forceps, right? In case of missed abortion, in case of incomplete abortions, in case of retained placenta after delivery of the baby, so you use this ovum forceps. Harshvardhan, can you recognize this ovum forceps from the sponge holding forceps? Ankita?
Yes, ma'am.
Ankita? So
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
holding forceps. Okay, I am showing you. This is ovum forceps, right? So ovum forceps, no
Yes, ma'am.
ratchet lock, right? So no ratchet lock. Whereas in case of sponge holding forceps, there is a lock here. You see, this is the lock, ratchet lock. But in case of ovum forceps, mind it, there is no lock. Okay. So this end is having a spoon-like structure at the end, distal end. Okay. Spoon-like structure. There is a gap inside the spoon. Okay. Here the distal end is having ring-like structure. You see ring-like structure with a groove. Everybody clear? This
Yes,
is one. So never confuse between ovum forceps and sponge holding forceps. Here is a ratchet lock. This is the distal end is ring shaped. There is a groove. You see there is a groove. This is sponge holding forceps. This is ovum forceps. So many people they confuse between the sponge holding forceps and ovum forceps. You see, this is a spoon-like end. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
You see, spoon-like end here. Okay, no lock. So examiner may ask you which are the two forceps you have to tell are not having locks. Okay, one is your ovum forceps, second is your chitil forceps. Okay, chitil forceps, you can see it in the labor room. Okay, that instrument, right now that instrument is not with me. So ovum forceps, so you have to evacuate the uterus with the help of ovum forceps. So you have to remove the product of conception with the help of ovum forceps. So you see, this is a uterine curette. Okay. So uterine curette, there are two ends. This is the handle. This end, another end. There are grooves at the ends. You see, there are grooves. Okay. So this is ring-like structure at the ends. This is also curved. You see, this is curved. This end is curved. This end is curved. Why there are curves? Curves are there to negotiate the uterine cavity. Okay. For curves, this is the handle. Okay. One end is sharp, one end is blunt. This is the sharp end, this is the blunt end. Okay. So this instrument is used to remove things from the uterine cavity by curating out. Okay, like this. You have to curate things from the uterine cavity. Either you have to curate the endometrium in case of dilatation and curettage procedure, or in case of dilatation and evacuation procedures. After finishing the removal of the product of conception, you have to doubly sure whether it is completed or not. So you have to use this curate. Okay, so you have to curate it, right? So this is a curate. So you have to use in dilatation evacuation procedure and dilatation and curettage procedure. In gynecological procedures, you have to use the blunt end and you have to use the sharp end, and in obstetrical procedures, you have to use the blunt end, because in obstetric cases, the uterus is soft, and if you use the sharp end, so you may injure the endometrium, myometrium like that, or you may perforate the uterus, right? So there are two ends, sharp and blunt ends. So examiner will ask you during the procedure DNC or endometrial biopsy, which end to be used? Your answer should be blunt end and sharp end. Then examiner will ask you why, because if you in case of pregnancy cases, you have to use blunt ends. Examiner will ask you why you have to use blunt end. So your answer should be it will injure the uterus minimally. Okay, if you use the sharp end, it will injure the uterine wall maximally. Okay, so in order to avoid injury to the uterine wall, you have to use the blunt end while doing your dilatation evacuation procedures. So another forceps, is it visible? Harshvardhan?
Yes, ma'am.
You see?
Yes,
See,
ma'am.
this is Cocker's forceps. Okay. So how can you know that this is a Cocker's forceps? So there is difference between Alice and Cockers. You see, this is Cocker's forceps. This is Alice forceps. So when you lock the instrument, okay, so I have locked both the instruments. You see the gap between the two blades. This is a Alice forceps. Okay. In Cocker's forceps, when I lock this instrument, there will be no gap at the distal ends of the two blades. Okay. This is a Cocker's forceps. Okay. This is a lock here. Here the lock is there. This is the finger grip. This is the distal end having single tooth is present. You see, one blade is having one tooth and the other blade is having two teeth. You see, two teeth. Is it visible? Ankita,
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
are you sleeping or doing something else?
No, ma'am, I'm not sleeping. No, ma'am.
So you see, the distal end is having one tooth on one side of the blade, the other blade is having two teeth. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
this instrument is called the Cocker's forceps. You see, these are the Cocker's forceps. So where it is used? It is used. So there are serrations. Is it visible? Serrations means small transverse ridges are present. Here, is it visible? Here
Yes,
the
ma'am.
serrations are present over the blades. Right? So this is Cocker's forceps. So it is used while doing ARM, artificial rupture of membrane. So you have to injure the membrane, you have to rupture the membrane in order to induce labor. Artificial rupture of membrane. This Cocker's forceps is used to while performing artificial rupture of membrane. Okay. So this can be used for holding the umbilical cord or clamping the umbilical cord after the delivery. Another use after the delivery of the baby. Okay. If there are artery forceps are not available, you can use this Coker's forceps to clamp the umbilical cord after the delivery of the baby. Okay. Provided the artery forceps are not available. Okay. So you can, while performing hysterectomy, this Coker's forceps can be used to hold the tough ligaments like your uterosacral ligament, McEnroe's ligaments, right? Coker's forceps. So this is artery forceps. This is a hemostat. Okay. So these are used. These forceps are used to stop bleeding. These forceps are used to stop bleeding. Okay. So there is a ratchet lock here. Finger loop is here. There are two distal ends. There are serrations here. Serrations are one is called mosquito forceps. Okay. The end is blunt tipped end. This is blunt tipped end. Okay. This is a artery forceps. Hemostat. It is used as a hemostat. Okay. So artery forceps can be used to clamp the cord also after the delivery of the baby. Yeah, this is the artery forceps. So this is a needle holder or needle holding forceps. You see, the hinge is towards the distal end. Hinge is towards the distal end, but other forceps, the hinge is in the middle of the forceps. Okay. You see, this is a sponge holding forceps. Hinge is in the middle of the forceps, whereas a needle holding forceps or needle holder, the hinge is towards the distal end of the forceps. Okay. So this is there are groups or markings here on both the blades, right? So this is used to hold the needle while suturing, right? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Distal end is very small in length here. This is the proximal end. Proximal end of the needle holder is much more in length than the distal end. Distal end is smaller in length. Okay. There is a hinge here. Hinge is towards the distal end. Okay. So there is a lock here. This is called needle holding forceps or needle holder, simply needle holder. So it is used to hold the needle while suturing. Okay. So there is another forceps. This is also a tissue holding forceps. Is it visible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is another tissue holding forceps, but this is a special type of tissue holding forceps. The name is green Armitage forceps. Ankita, can you name
Ma'am, can you
the?
please repeat the name, ma'am?
Please repeat.
Tell me what is the name of this instrument? I have told you
Ma'am,
just
can you
now.
please repeat?
Green
Green.
Armitage forceps. Okay. So you see
Green.
Armitage forceps. So this is used to hold the uterine flaps while performing lower segment cesarean section. Okay. So this is a hemostat. The forceps the use is it is a purely a hemostat. Okay. So you see, so there is a ratchet lock. Okay, there is the hinge and the distal end. You see, the distal end is wider. Distal end is wider, and there are serrations, transverse serrations are present. So transverse serrations are present to provide better grip of the tissues. Okay, so there are transverse serrations. Okay, the distal end is broader. You see, this is broad. So green Armitage forceps. So it is used to hold the flaps of the uterus while performing lower segment cesarean section, LSCS. Okay, green Armitage forceps. It is used as a hemostat. Okay, Ankita, can you tell me the name of the instrument?
Ma'am, green Armitage forceps.
So how can you distinguish between your sponge holding forceps and green Armitage forceps?
Ma'am, in green Armitage forceps, the distal end is broad with transverse serrations.
So there are no grooves here. Okay, no grooves. But in case of sponge
Yes.
holding forceps, okay, so this is curved. The distal end is curved, whereas here it is plain. Okay, it is transverse.
Yes, ma'am.
This is sponge holding forceps. This is green Armitage forceps. So green Armitage forceps, there is no groove, whereas in case of sponge holding forceps, there is a groove. So this is used as a hemostat while performing lower cesarean section. Okay, green Armitage forceps. The name is quite large. So this is one instrument, small instrument. This is towel clip. Is it visible? This is a clip, towel clip. So in order to fix the drapings, okay, while performing surgery, before performing any surgery, you have to drap the area and you have to fix the drapings. So in order to fix the drapings, you have to use towel clips. Is it visible? Towel clips.
Yes, ma'am.
Harshvardhan.
Yes, ma'am.
Ankita. This is, what is this called? This instrument is called
Towel
towel
clips.
clips. Okay. So I am showing instruments. You please tell the names. Okay. What is this instrument? Harshvardhan.
Sponge holding force.
Anybody, any volunteer, please tell me what is the instrument I am showing you.
Sponge holding forceps.
Yes, sponge holding forceps. Well, please stop the music. Tell me what is this forceps? Anybody volunteer? Harshvardhan, what is this?
Ma'am, Alice forceps.
Alice tissue holding forceps. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is this? Tell me.
Valsalem.
Yes, valsalem. It is used to hold the
Anterior lip of the cervix.
yes before your dilatation, evacuation, dilatation curettage procedures. Okay. हाँ सस्मिता कौन है असुविधा है कि परिचित सार को पठेल तो लिंक टा अच्छा हो हाँ कली ହେଲା ସାରଙ୍କର ହେଲା ହଁ ଆସିଲେ ସାର୍ ଆସିଲେ ଆଉ ମୁଁ ଆଡ୍ କରିଦେଲି hello
Yes, ma'am.
And there are still
so
some
I am
people.
holding this instrument. What is this instrument called? Pardon?
Ma'am,
You tell
some
me
people
the
are
name of this instrument. I am sorry.
Uterine curate.
Uterine curate.
Yes. Uterine curate. Okay. So what is this instrument?
This is ovum force.
I am showing you.
Hager's
Okay.
metal
This is
detector.
ovum forceps. Who has answered me the ovum forceps? You see, this is the Hager's metal dilator. Metal dilator to dilate the cervix. Okay, before going for dilatation evacuation or dilatation curettage procedures. Okay. So what is this instrument?
Needle
Please tell me.
Needle holding forceps.
Needle holding forceps or simply needle holder. Okay. So what is this instrument?
Artery forceps.
Yes, artery forceps. So what is this instrument?
Costco bivalve.
Post
Vaginal.
bivalve self-retaining vaginal speculum. Okay. Okay. Once again, Coscos bivalve
Bivalve. Self-retaining.
self-retaining vaginal speculum. Okay. So what is this instrument? Double-bladed, non-self-retaining posterior vaginal speculum. Okay. So what is this instrument called? The distal end is having one blade, one teeth on one blade and two teeth on other blade. Tell me. Cocker's forceps. Okay. So what is this I am holding? Tell me. Towel clip. So I have taught you speculum. I have taught you artery forceps. I have taught you needle holding forceps. I have taught you Hager's dilator, your ovum forceps. So everybody should remember ovum forceps is the forceps which is devoid of ratchet lock. So there is no lock here. Okay, there are two forceps which are not having any locks. Those two are, one is ovum forceps, another is chitil forceps. Everybody got clear? So this is one MCQ, NEET PG MCQ. Okay, the two forceps which are not having locks, ovum forceps and chitil forceps. Chitil forceps, when you come to KIMS, you will see it in the labor room. Okay, this is Ankita. What is this instrument? I have taught you. This is Valsalem.
Valsalem.
Valsalem, okay. So this is a plastic instrument. You see, this is a plastic instrument. The end is, distal end is closed, but there are two triangular openings just before the distal blunt end. You see? Is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the distal end is closed, proximal end is open. This is a tube-like structure. This is made up of plastic. So there are two openings just before the distal end. This is another opening here. Okay. So this is Terman's plastic cannula. Repeat with me. Terman's plastic cannula. Ankita, tell me, repeat with me, Carmen's plastic cannula. Is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
You people,
Yes, ma'am.
tell with me, this is Carmen's plastic cannula.
Plastic
So where it
Carmen's
is used?
plastics and cannula.
Yes, it is used during suction evacuation procedure. Okay. So negative pressure is created by the suction machine. It is around -600 to -800 millimeter mercury, and this plastic cannula is inside the uterine cavity, and due to negative pressure, the product of conception is sucked out through these openings. Okay. This is through these openings, the products of conception, they are sucked out of the uterine cavity. So this Carmen's cannula, the sizes are written here. There are different sizes like dilator. The size of the cannula, that is, it refers to the diameter of this tube or this cannula. Okay. So if it is 8 weeks of gestation, so you have to use the number 8 or number 7 plastic cannula. If it is 10 weeks size, then you have to use 10 weeks, number 10 size Carmen's plastic cannula or one little less. Okay. So this is Carmen's plastic cannula used while performing suction evacuation procedures. Okay. So in case of MTP, okay. So the end is here, the blunt end. Why? If it will be sharp, so it may perforate the uterus. Okay. Suppose there is perforation of the uterus. So what will you do? So you have to stop the procedure and you observe the patient. Okay. If the patient is stable, then nothing should be done. Okay. If the patient is unstable, then either laparoscopy or laparotomy has to be performed. Okay. So if there is, by chance there is uterine perforation, the question will come or the examiner will ask you what will be your further step. So if there is perforation, you abandon the process of the procedure, you stop at that moment, you remove you first break the or negative pressure, then you bring out the cannula out of the uterine cavity, wait and watch. If the patient is stable, then there is nothing to do. You have to nothing to do. Or if the patient is unstable, then you go for either laparoscopy or laparotomy. Okay. So this is your NEET PG question, MCQ question. So what will you do? If there is perforation, what will you do? Immediately go for laparotomy, go for laparoscopy, wait and watch, and then you decide for laparoscopy or laparotomy. So this is Carmen's plastic cannula. This is, tell me, what is this, Alisa? Are you listening to me? Alisa Patnaik.
Yes, ma'am.
You see, you tell me, I have told you the name of this instrument. I am holding this instrument right in front of you. Tell me what is the name. Please tell me. What is this instrument? Harshvardhan,
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
me what is the name of this instrument?
Ma'am, uterine curette.
Uterine curette. So what is this? Scissors, pair of scissors, right? So this is used to cut the tissues. Cut the tissues, cut the suture material. You see? Scissors. Okay. There are two blades, but there is no lock here. Okay. You see? Scissors. This is tooth dissecting forceps. Tooth dissecting forceps. Okay. The hinge is there at one end. Okay. These are two blades. This is one blade. This is another blade. The blades are having at the distal ends tooth. On one side, one tooth is present. Other blade is having two teeth. Okay. This is tooth dissecting forceps. So this is used to hold the tough structures while conducting surgeries. Okay, you see, this is tooth dissecting forceps. This forceps is devoid of any lock and the hinge is at one end of this forceps. Okay, so this is tooth forceps. Another is plain forceps. I think she has not given me. The plain forceps, the distal end is not having any tooth. Okay, this is plain one. So this is Bard-Parker handle. This is Bard-Parker handle. So we have to fix the scalpel here at one end and this. Okay, scalpel we have to fix it here. This is BP handle, Bard-Parker handle. You see? So in order to give incisions over the operating site, this is BP handle. Okay. You see? There are serrations here and there are groove here, distal end, groove is present in order to hold the scalpel or that is the knife. Okay. So this is used to give incisions over the operating sites. So also used for cutting tough structures. So Harshvardhan, what is the name of this instrument?
Bard-Parker's handle.
Okay. So for what purpose it is used?
To give the incision.
Over the operating site and to cut. Sometimes we used to cut tough structures also with this knife. Okay. So this is Leach-Wilkinson's cannula. This is HSG cannula. Okay. You see, there are two different structures. Leach-Wilkinson's cannula. This is used to introduce dye inside the uterine cavity while performing hysterosalpingography. Okay. So there is a tube-like structure, and one stellate is there. Okay. So we have to introduce dye from this side. Okay. This is this portion. There are screw-like structure. We have to introduce into the cervical cavity like this, screw-like fashion. Okay. And you put inside the cervical canal, the tip is inside the uterine cavity. You push the dye from here, from this side. Okay. So it is used in hysterosalpingography. Okay. So while performing diagnostic laparoscopy in case of infertility cases, in order to know the patency of the fallopian tubes. Okay. So there are two uses. One is hysterosalpingography. Second is it is used in diagnostic laparoscopy while performing diagnostic laparoscopy to know the patency of the fallopian tubes. Okay. So Leach-Wilkinson's cannula. So what is this? You people know this one?
Police.
Tell me, what is the name?
Police catheter.
Police catheter.
Catheter.
Self-retaining catheter. Okay. So when you inflate the balloon part is here. Okay. So it is self-retaining. So it will not fall out from the bladder. Okay. So there is one balloon here. So you have to inflate the balloon so that it is self-retained inside the urinary bladder. Okay. The distal end is blunt here, closed, and there are two groups, small groups here, through which the urine comes out. Okay. So balloon is here. You have to inflate from below. Right. Through this end, the urine comes out. Through this end, you have to introduce liquids to inflate the balloon here. Okay. So the proximal end is having two openings. Through this main opening, the urine comes out, and through this opening, you have to introduce liquids, normal saline or distilled water, in order to inflate the balloon which is present at the neck of this catheter. Okay. So this is Foley's self-retaining catheter. Okay. Female catheter, of course. So examiner will ask you what is the length of female urethra. Anybody? Alisa, what is the length of female urethra? Alisa, are you sleeping or taking your lunch? So can you tell me what is the length of female urethra?
4 centimeters.
4 to 5 centimeters. You have to tell a range. Okay. So not every female is having exactly 4 centimeter female urethra. Okay. So you have to tell a range 4 to 5 centimeter. So this is Foley's self-retaining catheter. So while it is used in case of retention of urine, so while doing your cesarean section or abdominal surgery, so you have to use this Foley's self-retaining catheter in order to continuously drain the urinary bladder. Okay. So now other instruments. So one instrument is left, that is your uterine sound. Okay. So next class I will teach you uterine sound, because instrument is right now not with me. So other instruments I will teach you in the next class. Harshvardhan,
Yes, ma'am.
at what time I will take your class on Monday? Some instruments are lacking here. Some instruments I think Susmita has not given. So next class I will teach you.
I'll inform you before the class.
Okay.
On Sunday.
So in the next class, I will first ask you questions, then I will proceed. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
everybody should able to name the instrument. Okay. So in the examination, people are not able to identify the instruments also. They are not able to name the instruments. Okay. So first of all, you try to identify the instruments, name the instruments, then uses will be asked you. Okay. So next class, you will inform me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is there any class on Monday? Other classes?
Yes, ma'am. We have a class, 2-3 classes.
So you please inform me. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's come prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I repeat the names of instruments once again?
Yes, ma'am.
So first you start from simple speculum. Okay. This is, what is this? This is double-bladed, seems double-bladed, non-self-retaining
Posterior
Posterior wall vaginal speculum. Okay. This one is Cosco's
bivalve
Bivalve
containing
posterior
vaginal speculum,
speculum.
not posterior vaginal wall speculum. Okay. Cosco's bivalve self-retaining vaginal speculum. Okay. This is Alice tissue holding forceps. Alice tissue holding forceps. So another instrument. This is what is this?
Valsalum.
This is
Valsalum.
valsalum. Okay, this is valsalum. This is what is this? This is tell me. This is artery forceps. Okay, this is artery forceps. This is what is this?
Curate. Uterine curate.
Uterine curate. Okay, this is what is this? This is tell me, Ankita.
Carmen plastic cannula.
Yes, Carmen
HSG.
plastic cannula. Okay, not HSG cannula. This is
Hager's dilator.
metal dilator. Okay. This is
This is
tell me.
Tooth detecting forceps.
Dissecting
Dissecting
forceps.
forceps.
This is tell me.
Bart Parker handle.
Bart
Please.
handle.
This is
Towel clip.
towel clip. This is
Needle holder.
Needle holder.
this is
Ma'am, ovum
what is this?
forceps.
Ovum
This is
forceps.
ovum
Ovum
forceps.
forceps.
Okay, mind it. This forceps
Yes,
is
ma'am.
not having any ratchet lock. No lock is here. Okay, the distal end is spoon shaped. You see spoon shaped distal end. These two characteristics you should notice. No lock, distal end is having spoon shaped ends. Okay, so this is ovum forceps. This is what is this? This is Coccus forceps. Clamp. Okay. This is Coccus clamp. This is what is this?
Leech Wilkinson cannula.
Leech Wilkinson cannula. HSG cannula. Okay. This is HSG cannula. Is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So there are screw-like structures. This is a metallic tube-like structure here. Okay. You see. This is Leech Wilkinson's cannula, HSG cannula. I think I have covered your. This is what is this?
Scissors.
Caesar.
Scissors. Okay. So next class I will cover your forceps, ventouse, drugs. I think OCP लो सब मुझे cover करना है, right? So I will
Yes,
be ending the class here. Okay. Is there any doubt from anybody?
Ma'am, what
Any
will we
doubt
get
from
a grade in
anybody?
exam?
Pardon?
Ma'am, what will be the procedure of the exam for the semester? Like, will we get a case or not?
I think you will give the examination, online examination will be done.
Ma'am, so on that there will only be one viva.
Your theory, pardon?
Ma'am, there will only be one viva.
Huh.
Okay.
I think so.
Lippy, I'm coming in. Am I audible?
Sir, Professor Sir has
Yes, sir.
come. He will explain you. Sir, please.
Yeah. As you know, your exam will be online. You'll be given 10 minutes each, about 8 to 10 minutes each. And you will be asked questions on the topics that has been covered recently in your 8th term, including the instruments and whatever Lippy is teaching you in these classes. Now, the plan of the examination will be that you'll not, since it is online, the cases will be given to you only as some kind of a summary. So, suppose you are the candidate, the examiner will tell you that yes, this is the brief history of the case, or is a case of suppose for examination, amenorrhea of 6 weeks, bleeding PV for 1 day, pain abdomen for 3 days, and a 29-year-old. What are the possible diagnoses? Or let us say a primi gravida who has come to you at 34 weeks. She is Rh negative, husband is Rh positive, indirect Coombs test is 1 in 16. See no other risk factors. What will you do hereafter? What tests you like to do? So like this, it will be some case-based question, but it will not be a case presentation as such. So a little brief, in some case, it will be told to you and you will be asked question. That is one part. And these questions, these portions which will be covered to you is the one which has been taught to you recently. Okay? A list has been sent to me. This list by, I think, Ankita. You share the same list with your batchmates so that everybody is in
I've shared it.
You have shared it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll try to confine this, your examination, to these topics which has been told to you covered. He has given me a list of 19 topics: hypertension, diabetes, Rh negative, normal labor, liver analgesia, infertility, PCOS, and so it could be any of these cases can be given to you as a short case with a brief history, and the examination will carry on. Plus, whatever your specimen are being covered in these 2 classes by Lippy Madam. Any other doubt?
No, sir. Thank you.
Sir, shall I close the class here?
Yes, yes, you can close. Very well covered, very distinctly explained. I'm sure they should be able to answer well in the examination.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I am ending the meeting here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you are having any doubt, you can ask me, okay? So my number is with you, with Harshvardhan. You can take my number and you can ask me any question, any doubt, I will explain you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.